I gotcha. Who's this?
Wesley.
Oh, Wesley. Hi, Wesley. Yeah, we'll get started in a minute. There's Paul. Indrek. So I think Paul is from the UK. Indrek is from Australia. This is the... yeah, normally I run these things in the for the North American people, but I thought, hey, let's even things up a bit and make them available to people in other countries. Okay, I think we'll get started. Anyway, there are some more people scheduled to attend. We've got a lot more booked, but what tends to happen with these things is that things get in the way or whatever, and they don't turn up. But that's fine. We'll just work with what we've got now, and anyone else that comes on board, well, they can enjoy, get some value from it as well. And as I said, it is being recorded. Now, Simple Online Success Group member orientation. Actually, I don't need my reading glasses for this. Right, the first thing I want to talk about is the attitude, but before I get to that, just let me say this. I kicked this group off about 6 months ago. I did it with, I had the support of a couple of people who like the concept as well. One of them is Peter Beckenham, and if you've been in this group for a while, you'll definitely know Peter Beckenham. He's I call him a force of nature. He's a 71-year-old force of nature. He's an incredible guy, and of course he's made huge strides in the last, particularly the last 6 months, I'd say, since he started doing things this way, the way we promote for people that want to generate leads and do business online. Well, using Facebook particularly. So, so Peter was one of the original founders, and there were another couple. One of them was Jim, and we had already been probably led more with me because I was the one that started using these ideas and these concepts in May of last year, and then when I discovered that they work, I wanted to share it with some people, and Peter was one of them, and Jim was another, and then they started using them, and they started to get some leads and sales as well. So that just gives you a little bit of background there, and so in whatever it was, September or something like that, decided to set up a Facebook group, a free Facebook group, because before then I was running a paid program, but decided to offer a free Facebook group so people could kind of dip their toe in the water and get a feel for what this stuff is about, what these strategies are about. And if they like them, fine. They can they can always get involved with the pro group and learn them more, go through a deeper learning process and hopefully get better results. Certainly people that have been in the pro group who've implemented have done pretty well. And Peter and Jim are two prime examples. All right, now, how do you get the most out of this group? When people join groups, Facebook groups, or they join any kind of a networking organization, even if it's an offline thing, oftentimes they're coming from a position of, what's in it for me? What am I going to get out of it? How much money am I going to make if I join this thing, etc. And that's understandable. We all do that. But to make this kind of a group work well for you, you've got to really come from the attitude of contribution. Be more of a go-giver than a go-getter. Now, nothing wrong with being a go-getter, but if you look at it in its purest form, you say go-getter, that's about go and getting stuff for you or getting stuff for me. Go get it. Come on, gimme, gimme, gimme. Get me some of these sales. Get me some of these leads. That's what I want. And yes, we do want that. But if we look at people like great kind of sales philosophers like Zig Ziglar, the late Zig Ziglar, he had, I think he got it right. He's basically, his mantra was, you can get everything you want out of life if you help enough other people get what they want. You probably heard of that. You probably heard that before, or maybe you've heard that before. So essentially what he's saying is exactly what I'm saying, and that is if we come from contribution and value will flow back to you subsequently. Okay, so yeah, certainly having the attitude of gratitude is part of it, but having the attitude of contribution is the other part of it. So how does that manifest if we're going to be coming from a giving mindset rather than a taking mindset? How does that manifest in practical terms? Well, it's about behavior, isn't it? So the first thing that you should do is be active. You need to be active in the group. Stand out. People take notice of you. Then if you're, and this is particularly the case if you are introducing people to the group yourself, you have to demonstrate your leadership qualities early on. And one of the best ways to do it within the group is to show those people that you invited into the group that you are a leader. So you need to be active. How do we do that? Well, first up, you would like and comment on other people's posts. That's the first thing that you do. Now, I've got this group, I've got another group, I've got the pro group to look after as well. Plus I've got my Facebook wall, then I've got my various fan pages and so on. And I'm getting, because I'm active, I'm getting a lot of comments. I get a lot of comments. I think last week I had over 200 comments on my own personal profile wall, over 200. I make it my goal to answer every one of those comments, even if it's just to put a smiley face in there to say thanks or something like that. That's what I do. Same thing in the group. Sometimes I fall short when I just get a little bit behind, and then I'll try and usually will catch up after a day or two. I go back over some of the posts that I didn't comment on, or some of the comments that I didn't comment on. So I'm suggesting you do the same thing so that you start to get noticed. You get noticed amongst, you get noticed by people in your peer group, but also people that you invited into, that you may have invited into the group as well. So they start to see you as being a person of substance. Okay, that's partly what it's all about. So you do it within the group, you get into the habit of doing it within the group, and then transfer that good habit to your own personal profile. So that when somebody gives you a thumbs up, they give you a like, they give you a comment, or they even share one of your posts on your personal profile wall, you thank them for it. You give them a comment. You say something positive to them. And of course, Facebook will reward you by elevating your post on your personal profile higher up, so more people are going to see it. Okay, so it's a self-perpetuating good thing for you to do. It's self-perpetuating. Going back to the group, same thing. You share, you like and you comment. You can't share, but you can like other people's posts. You can comment on other people's posts. What else can you do? Well, you submit a post every other day, or maybe every day. We've got some members who put a post up every day. They submit a post. Now, I can't guarantee that your post will be approved for the group. If it's, like every day we get one or two people submitting spammy, get rich quick type posts. Well, they get deleted, and usually the person doing it gets removed from the group and blocked. Other times people will submit content that is not particularly helpful or relevant to the group. So we won't approve that. So if you are going to submit posts, and I urge you to do that, if you are going to submit posts, make it relevant and useful and helpful. Be helpful. If you learned a tip on Facebook marketing or other lead generation strategies, you learned it somewhere else, rewrite it, package it up for yourself, call it your own, and then submit it to the group, and you'll, 9 times out of 10, it will be approved. And people will start to see this stuff, and then you know, your credibility gets a boost. This is really about attraction marketing. So you can use the group as like a training incubator. So you can learn how to stand out in a crowd, and then take the lessons that you learn across to the to your personal profile, and do the same thing there. So that's the kind of behaviour that you need to adopt. And so be active, come from contribution, be a go-giver more than a go-getter. And then what you'll find is that after X number of weeks, and I'm talking weeks, not months, providing you do it consistently. See, what happens with a lot of people is that they'll get enthused about a particular tactic, strategy, and they'll do it for 3 days, 4 days, a week, and all of a sudden they start dropping off. That's sort of the trap. Some people will behave in in the right way. Others will be coming from this gimme, gimme, gimme kind of place. So you'll see there, some members of this group are not coming from contribution. They're not, because they're still working under a different mindset. They're still wearing their hustler hat, saying, "Hey, this is all about me and what I can get for me," right? And they haven't reoriented their thinking. And if I've got a personal relationship with that person, quite often I can influence them to change their thinking, which in turn will change their behaviour. But a lot of the people who are joining SOS, I don't know them from a bar of soap. And these people are often coming from a bad spot, right? So, sometimes, quite often they'll bring their bad habits. So some members of this group are not coming from contribution. Some members are unethical, and they may try and spam you via Messenger, via Facebook Messenger. That may happen. It's okay. It's one thing to start a relationship via Facebook Messenger, but it's another thing to start pitching and hustling you straight off the bat without building a relationship first. So I would say avoid those people. If you're getting them, avoid them. Let us know who they are, and we'll probably block them, get rid of them. There are many temptations as well. And this does not just apply to the SOS group, obviously. It applies to, well, life in general, but particularly the internet, and particularly when it comes to making money. There are many temptations. We call it the bright, shiny object syndrome. And yeah, I've fallen for it a few times over the years. But not too much.
It's not in the middle of anything. It's
way out. Yeah.
But other people have they seem to succumb on a regular basis, and so they see their bank account draining, the funds left in their bank account dwindling until there's nothing left. Now, it doesn't mean to say that those people got involved with bad programs. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they're good programs, but for whatever reason they didn't work them properly or make them work, whatever. But there are a lot of temptations out there, and the grass often looks greener on the other side until you get there and you realize, hang on, this is no better than what I was doing before. And then the final thing is that some members who project success are not successful. They talk the talk, but they don't necessarily walk it. And yeah, I'm talking about people who are projecting success, they maybe through their posts, etc. It doesn't mean to say that their comments or their videos or whatever are not, there's not value in them. Quite often there is value in them. But don't necessarily put them on a pedestal and think that these people are successful people. Most of them have still got a day job. And they've been trying to get out of the rat race for 10 years, right? So take on board what they say, but unless you've got evidence to the contrary, assume that they're struggling just like you, okay? So that's fine, no problem at all. Now let's look at the opportunities. Now I'll open it up for questions soon, but let's look at the opportunities. Apart from being a leader and being active within the group,
I just think he's going to be good.
you can also use the SOS group as a sales funnel. You can. And the way you do it is you cultivate people that you meet on Facebook, that you meet from other groups or friends that you've got on Facebook. And if it appears obvious that there would be some benefit for them if they were to join the group, well, you can suggest they join the group. You just say, hey, I'm in this group. We're learning organic Facebook strategies. It's pretty good. It's free to join. It's a community, and it's a no spam group. So if that person is a person that you're thinking, well, maybe at some point I'd like to do business with that person, well, the group, you can use the group to help strengthen the relationship. It's not going to do the job for you, obviously, because the content in the group is generic. But it will help to strengthen the relationship. And then if you follow the person up a day or two after they join and then stay in contact with them, you'll probably find that they will behave in a warmer way towards you because of what you did for them. See, coming from contribution once again. I've done it lots of times. It works. It just flat out works. And I mentioned before about Peter Beckenham. He does it all the time. So it does work. So let's have a look at the points here. Think of it as an incubator, a way to grow and deepen relationships. Use it to move people closer to you. Remember the know, like, and trust rule. That's a very powerful rule. Know, like, and trust. If people know you, or at least they think they know you, of course, with the internet, relationships aren't as deep in the online world as they are in the offline world. So basically what they're knowing is your persona, your digital persona. They don't, unless we do like a video like this or something like that, they're not going to get to know you on a deeper level. But at least they know something about you, and hopefully they like it. Okay, so they know you, they like you, and finally they trust you. And you know what happens when you've got know, like, and trust working in your favor? You know what happens? Have a guess. Your conversions, if you're following through properly, are going to increase markedly. They are. Why? You've got more credibility. With more credibility, you've got more authority, you've got more leverage. Leverage is what it's all about. This is why cold marketing requires you to engage with so many people or pitch so many people. Even if you're buying solo ads or something like that, you've got to get that message in front of so many people, a lot of people, before you might even get one sale. or even one opt-in to your list. Whereas warm marketing is different. It works on the basis that know, like, and trust is paramount. It's the golden rule of marketing. And if we get that happening properly, we've got the leverage. Cold market, we don't have leverage. We do not have leverage with people. And so that's why I love warm market. I love warm market. And I've been using it on and off for 10 years. 10 years. Most of the money that I've made has come as a result of warm market activities. And online and sometimes offline, telephone, right? Warm market, you've got so much more leverage when you've got the know, like, and trust factor working in your favor. And that's why a group like the SOS group can be so powerful for you if you use it properly. If you start referring people to the group and then cultivate them properly afterwards, you might be shocked as to how quick they're going to be doing it. Some of these people are going to do business with you. What's your business? I don't know. You might be a network marketer, affiliate marketer, you might have another type of business. But if you've got that know, like, and trust factor working in your favor, you're going to have more leverage, and people that said no to you yesterday are going to say yes to you today because they take notice and they take heed of what you're saying now. Whereas before they just gave you the metaphorical flick to the curb. So I really encourage you to do this know, like, and trust thing. Get that working for you, and you can do it within the group. You bring people into the group, and by the way, this is a good test of your ability to influence people to do one simple free thing. Join the SOS group. If you can't get them to join the SOS group, how are you going to get them to pay you money to buy your product or join your program or whatever it is? If you can't get them to do that one simple thing, you've got no chance of getting them to step up and join your paid program. So use it as a testing ground. Use it as a way to learn the skills of persuasion. And you don't have to do much persuading to get people to join the SOS group if you're talking to the right person. If they're already in marketing, they're struggling, blah, blah, it's pretty easy to say, well, have you tried warm market strategies like Facebook before? They say no. Or they say, yeah, but I don't know, I haven't had any success with it. All you need to do then is just say, well, look, you should join the SOS group. It's a free community. It's great. People helping people, and yeah, there's no spam. You can just learn and meet other people. That's all you need to say. And then if they, if they say, okay, you can just add them. What I like to do is I like to get them to watch the overview video first, because that will help to change their thinking move their thinking in the right direction. We want them to be thinking about coming from contribution, right? So the SOS group overview video will help to give them the idea as to how this warm market thing works. And most people, in fact, every person that I've given the video to, they always say, this looks good, I like it. Sign me up, put me in there, add me. That's all you need to do. And so not only are you doing a good thing for them, you're also doing a great thing for yourself, because, as I said, you're going to strengthen the relationship with that person, and you're going to be practicing and refining your own inviting skills. And if you're promoting, a product or a business opportunity or something like that, oftentimes it's about inviting, isn't it? It's about inviting. It's about inviting them to watch a video, inviting them to test this product, inviting them to go onto your email list, or whatever it is. A lot of it is about inviting. So here is a simple way for you to practice these skills within, within the SOS group. And then you can leverage your newfound skills into the bigger world of marketing to your audience. and inviting some of them to look at your program or whatever. But me, I like to, if I'm going to ask somebody to look at a business or a product or something like that, I want to do it when I know what their problem is, I know what their pain point is, because then I can leverage off that. And I'll do it when I feel I've got no like and trust working for me. That's when I'll do it. How long does that take? Sometimes it only takes a few days. Sometimes I've had people pay me money on the first time I chatted with them on Facebook, without any voice call, just typing. Then again, I've had other people not do business. I had a guy, I'll give you an example. I had a guy who joined me in a program that I'm involved with. When was it? It was just before Easter, okay? And this is a guy that I've known on Facebook for quite some time. Right? And every now and again, about 2 or 3 times a year, I have a chat to him about, you know, how he's doing and all the rest of it. And for whatever reason, timing was never perfect for him until a week and a half ago. The timing was right? His window of opportunity was open. And he had a look at what I had to offer, and he joined. And he pinged me, 4 days ago, and said, wow, I'm loving this stuff. Absolutely loving it. So excited. He is so excited. Another one that I had sign up was last week as well. She, I've only known her on Facebook for a month, 2 months, something like maybe 2 months. Well, I haven't really been chatting to her. Right? I only started chatting with her via Messenger 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. And last week she did business. So if we look at how quickly it can happen, say from the time I started chatting with her, she was a friend for months, a Facebook friend. Well, I hadn't had any dialogue with her. For whatever reason, I was too busy, or it just didn't happen, because I mean, I'm hitting my 5,000 friend limit on Facebook every month. I have to keep removing deadwood to free up some space so more people can be added, you know. So I don't have the time to be chatting with everybody anymore. But anyway, for whatever reason, about 3 weeks ago, because she kept liking my posts on my wall. She kept liking my posts, and she making a comment here and there. And I thought, I must talk to this lady. So that's what I did, as I say, about 3 weeks ago. Had a few chats over the next 14 days. And then last week, bang, just like that. It doesn't need to take long. It could happen within a few days or a few weeks if you do it properly. Okay, so there are your opportunities. And as I've got down that last point, it's about leverage. The more you have, the more likely it is that people will listen to you and act on your advice. And you have leverage when you have no like and trust working for you. That's when you have leverage. Before that happens, you don't have much leverage. People are just going to dismiss you as another deadbeat marketer. Well, that's what they think. They think that about me until I've got no like and trust happening. They think I'm another deadbeat marketer if I've only just met them today, right? Accepted their friend request. So we need to be working properly. Take a little bit of a longer term view. I know you want results like yesterday, but how long have you had that attitude for? You know, people say, I need to get results now. I can't do this Facebook stuff because it might take, you know, X amount of time. I say, well, okay, well, what sort of results are you having now with the methods you've been using up till now? Oh, well, not very good. Right. And how long have you been persisting with those strategies, those not very good strategies? Oh, about 2 years. Right, so it doesn't work anyway. Right, so forget about it. Just wipe the slate clean, start again, and say, okay, I know I'm desperate to make some money, I'm desperate to make some sales, but I realise I'm
I've got this thing on which I sort of
I'm
No.
starting with a brand new strategy, and it's going to take a few weeks of concentrated effort. And as I said before, consistency is key. Consistency is key. If you don't do it every day, let's say 6 days a week, have Sunday off if you want. I do. If you don't do it 6 days a week, you're letting yourself down and you're letting your audience down. You have to do it every day, even if you don't feel like doing it. Put some posts up on your wall. Submit some posts to to the group, to the SOS group. You've got to do it every day, even if you're feeling down, even if you're feeling demotivated. Do what you have to do to get motivated. Jump up and down, listen to some loud music, whatever. Get into that group and make some comments. Even if you don't feel like it, you've got to fake it till you make it. And you'll find that after doing it for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll be feeling good about it. It'll become a habit, and you'll start to notice some results. I want results for you. I want results for me. I'm big on results, right? And I do like quick results, but I know that if I start with a new strategy today, it is not going to give me results today, because I've got to go through the learning curve and I've got to finesse it and refine it. It's probably going to take me 3 or 4 weeks. That's the reality. But 3 or 4 weeks out of a lifetime is nothing. It's nothing. And when I first started in 2006, online, my home business online, started generating leads, I had a goal. I wanted quick results. I wanted to make $8,000 to $10,000 a month within 60 days. That was my goal. I had to do that. That was my goal. It was do or die. I'd burnt my bridges. It was do or die. Okay? After 3 weeks, I hadn't made a cent. Had not made a cent. Not a cracker. Nothing. And I was starting to panic. But I just kept thinking, well, I set the original goal 30 to 60 days. 60 days, I can live with 60 days. Okay, and it's only 21 days. So stop panicking, stop losing confidence, and just push forward. Push forward, could be closer than you think. That's what I said to myself. Sure enough, about 4 or 5 days after that, it was about day 26 in that first month, the first, I call it gobs of money, the first sackloads of money started appearing, not on my doorstep, but in my bank account. Right? And on the 30th of October or the 31st of October, there was $9,200 in my bank account. Whereas a week before, there was nothing. Right? So if I'd quit on that 21st day, because I woke up with stinking thinking, I was feeling bad about things, and I'd lost my confidence, if I'd quit and I'd stopped doing the basic things that I was told to do by my coach every day, if I had stopped doing those things, I would be just another failure. You don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that person. So you've got to do the basic things. And every strategy has its own way of, its own modus operandi, okay? There are certain things that you have to do to make a given strategy work. And if you're just starting out, well, you're going to need to refine it. It'll take a little bit longer to make it work. That's why I think it took longer for me back then in 2006, because the strategy that I was given by my coach, it took me a little while to get into the groove, to refine it, to make it, get it to the point where I felt it was working for me. For the first week or so was just a bit of a disaster because it hadn't clicked with me. It didn't feel right, didn't gel with me. I wasn't feeling confident about it. But then a few things started to fall into place and I started to have good conversations with people. And then, as I said, in the dying days of that first month, I had a bunch of money put into my account. And that was it. That was it. I said to my wife at the end of that first month, I said, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. The rest of my working life, and I hope I have a long working life because I do enjoy working. I love it. I'm providing, I'm getting results. And you're probably the same. If you're working in an area that you find interesting and you're getting results, why would you quit? What else are you going to do? Right? So that's it. Enough of the sermon. Let's look at opportunities number 2, and then we'll finish off. I'll take some questions. How to take your business to the next level. Now, this will only apply to a few people because it's just the way it is. It's just the way people are, particularly people who join a group like this. Most people are not committed. They are not committed. They're not committed to the group. They're not committed to their business. And of course, those people are going to fail. And that's the majority. I would say 90%. I would say 90%. The mere fact that you turned up here today is a really good sign. So it suggests to me that, well, you're fairly serious. You're reasonably serious. Let's see if you've got enough, enough gas in the tank to follow through and to hang in there for the next 3, 4, 5 weeks, something like that. But some people in the group are at the point where they say, hey, this do-it-yourself approach, on your own type of approach is fine, but I'd like a bit of a boost. I'd love to have somebody that I could talk to every now and again, somebody that I could bounce ideas off. Just somebody that's already been down that pathway ahead of me and it's, got the runs on the board. That's where coaching comes in. Now, I mentioned that I had a mentor when I got started all those years ago, and I had the drive, I had the fire in the belly for sure, but there's no way I could do it all by myself. There's no way. I needed somebody to give me a hand. I needed somebody to help give me a bit of a leg up. And that was pivotal, having that person. Now, I could have maybe struggled and did, just continue on by myself, trying to do it all myself without talking to somebody in authority. But I think probably what would have happened is that I wouldn't have made sales by the end of the first month. I certainly wouldn't have made them by the end of the second month, and I probably would have quit in desperation, just totally despondent. So you either see it or you don't. You either see the value of having a coach or you don't. And so this message is to those that see it. For those that you don't, okay, well, you can sort of tune out for the next couple of minutes. This won't take long anyway, because all I'm going to do is direct you to go and watch a video. I'm not going to do a presentation or anything like it. But I have 2 programs. I've got 3. I've got one-on-one coaching program. I've got 2 group coaching programs, one of which has only been introduced this week, today, in fact. The one-on-one coaching program is, most people do not get involved with that because, well, price is a big barrier. It's one-on-one, and my cheapest is $3,000. I've got another one that's $10,000, and I've got another one on the drawing board that's 20 grand now. So, well, that's crazy stuff. But it depends. If I'm dealing with somebody who's already at a level, they're already making some money, but they want to go to the next level and they want to do it faster, those sort of people will come along and put 10 grand on the table. But that's not what this is about. I decided that I wanted more people to enjoy the benefits of coaching, but without having to pay for it in a major way. So I've come up with this group coaching concept, okay? And I'm really kind of motoring ahead with it at the moment. I'm really, putting some energy into it, particularly in the last few weeks. One of them is called SOS Plus, and it's small group coaching, and the other one, and I'm introducing this one today. And the other one is called SOS Pro, which I've had for a while. And the SOS Pro requires a bigger investment, but it's still very, very cheap compared to anything else on the market that would be equivalent. Okay, so I'm calling it the feast. So SOS Plus is like the entree. The Americans call call them starters, but you know, where I come from in Australia, if you have the first course is called the entree. It's the French thing, and it is actually the correct word. I don't know why the Americans call the entree the main course, but anyway, I'm getting off the point there. Americans have some funny habits sometimes, or funny ways of expressing themselves. But so I'm calling it the entree, or what some people might call the starter. The SOS Plus is a good way to dip your toe in the water with a group coaching kind of program. Okay, group coaching is good because you've got a mentor leading the group, you've got a coach leading the group, number one, and number two, you've got other committed people within the group who are also eager to learn. Okay, you think you could get benefit from that? Well, if you're at that right place mentally right now, I'd say, yeah, for sure, you can get benefit from it. Why you might need it? Well, it's a smaller community for sure, small groups, it's more intimate, deeper learning. We go deeper on topics like the Facebook strategies. Messaging is what it's all about. You want to get really good at the Facebook marketing, you've got to become good at messaging. And we can only you know, we can't do justice to the topic in the free group. We touch on it. My lessons touch on it, but to really get good at it, to almost master it, you've got to go deeper. And by the way, you become better at messaging, Facebook messaging. That new skill can be leveraged into all sorts of other marketing-related activities. Let's say you start up a blog. Well, you take the messaging lessons that you learnt with us, you apply them to your blog, you're going to be creating better content. Better content attracts more people. Even video marketing. It's about messaging, isn't it? So the core thing that we do with the SOS paid groups or paid program is to do with messaging, communication skills. All right, there's also accountability. Accountability is good. I like to be accountable to people, and I'm sure you know the benefits of accountability. So we do have some accountability, partnering, etc., happening within the paid program. All of this, as long as you do your part, by the way, personal support. With the pro program, there is personal support. Even though it's a group program, for a limited time, I'm introducing a degree of personal support so that you can chat to somebody and get your questions answered. You can talk to your coach. Okay, it's pretty good. So that's with the pro program. The plus program doesn't have personal support, but you've got a reasonable amount of group support there. There's some pretty good things happening with it, and it's so cheap. It's ridiculous. I'm hoping this is going to be a game changer, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So you can join SOS Plus now if you like. If you want to check out the pro video, just ping me and I'll send that over to you as well. But there is no downside by joining the SOS Plus group. If you can't afford to join the SOS Plus group, there's something wrong. There is something seriously wrong. That's it. And the other thing is that you join the SOS Plus group now, and this is a limited time offer. I'm going to close this particular offer. If you join it now, and then you upgrade to the pro program, which includes some personal coaching element to it, and other benefits and inclusions. If you upgrade to the pro program, I will credit you what you paid, and it's only I'll tell you, there's no secret, it's $67. That's it. $67. I will credit you what you paid for the plus program towards the pro. That's, I think, is a pretty good offer. So that's enough of that. Now, just finally, and then if we've got some questions, I'm happy to take them. I'm going to be running a webinar program. It might be using the Facebook Live technology. It could be using Zoom technology or something else. Webinars on there, whatever. I haven't decided that yet. I'll have to decide over the weekend. But I want to run at least one training a week, just basic training for the free group. It won't be in-depth. It won't be the kind of depth that serious people will need. That's why we have the pro and the plus paid groups. But at least it will whet your appetite. It will, it'll give you a basic understanding of what needs to be, as to what needs to be done, without necessarily going into, you know, all the detail of the how, right? But you've got to start with the what anyway. What do I need to do? And then the next question is, how do I do it? And that's where it's the devil in the detail kind of a situation when we get into the how. But here are some of the topics, and just look, if there's anything there that stands out for you, let me know, because I'll listen, I'm looking for feedback as to what you're looking for. Okay, so here's one here. If I had my time over again. In fact, I'm thinking of running that as the first one next week, for the first session next week. If I had my time over again, because look, although I've sold millions of dollars of products online over the internet over the years, I've made some horrendous mistakes as well. And if I had my time over again, obviously I got a lot right as well too, but I have made some mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. That's just the way it is. But if I had my time over again, I would probably do things a little bit differently in some respects. There are other things that I would not change because they work so damn well. But there would be some things that I did differently, and I know that when I wrote a blog post about that, I got a good response. So I'm thinking that topic would go well within the SOS family. Okay, that's one that I'm thinking of. Here's a few more. My top 5 headlines and why they worked. Fan page or personal profile, which is best. 3 ways to get more authority on Facebook. Slow results versus money in the bank now. You become the hunter, how to get people to approach you. The right way to market. To friends and family. That could be relevant for quite a number of people. 5 business models that go ka-ching in the night. GPT or BED, which is best? Well, what does that mean? Well, that's get paid today or back end dough. That's what I call it. That's what I say that is. Okay, 4 ways to stop caring what people say about you. 5 reasons why it isn't working for you and what you can do about it. Fear buster. We all have to face the fear monster at one time or another. The cure for shiny object syndrome. Bright shiny object syndrome. How to find time to generate leads on Facebook. Facebook basics. This would be a primer, not an in-depth, not an advanced lesson by any means, but a primer. Who cares about your MLM business? 5 ways to stay motivated. 5 lead sources better than solo ads. If you've heard of that term before, solo ads, you'll probably know that they're not often the best way of generating leads. 5 simple sins for Facebook marketing. Why your home business isn't working. Simple money-making formula. How to overcome inertia. The 3 freedoms. Internet scams and over-the-top myth-making. Jokers, chokers, and no-hopers. How to handle... got some funny titles here, haven't I? How to handle setbacks and obstacles. Look for the positive even if you fail. That's a pretty good topic, that. That's based on a blog post that I wrote as well, and that topic worked pretty well. Steve Martin taught me this. So I taught Steve Martin, the actor, you know, the comedic actor. How to help people find their why. Gurus exposed. Who should you follow? What the gurus don't tell you, which is a follow-on lesson. What are the real odds of success for home business marketers? Sales funnel BS. Does calling vendor leads suck? 5 ways to overcome fear of the phone. 5 ways to be seen as an expert without being one. And a follow-on lesson from that is quickie ways to gain instant credibility. It's never too late to change direction. And finally, clutter buster. They're part of a master list that I've got. They form part of the master list. I think there's about 30 something there. I've got a list of about 50 different topics. So the idea would be to run 1 a week. But if there's any there that you saw that kind of struck a chord with you, well, let me know. And I'll write it down, and you know, I might make that one of the early topics. And then finally, don't forget, go to 280kayear.com, watch the video, and it'd be great to have you involved with our beautiful little family in the SOS Pro group. Plus, you get all the other benefits. This is Kim Willis. Bye for now.